Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to our Wednesday wake-up call. It's always exciting to be here with you all. We do these Monday through Friday, and just encourage you to invite friends to come on here and, just get lifted up for the day. It's one of the best ways for me, to be able to get the positive start to the day, and there's just great things going on. And today, I'm excited to introduce my good friend, Chris Smith from Oklahoma. I've been friends with him, 15 years now, and just have the utmost respect for him. He's a very successful businessman by building a business. I've watched him and his wife homeschool their 4 boys and be able to, they're just great parents, and they lead a youth ministry and just have the biggest hearts of probably anybody I know, a love for people. And so I just will open up the line and let Chris Smith from Oklahoma come up here and give us a word today.
Well, thank you, Patty, for all the kind words, and most congratulations possible on your pond. It's awesome as you have friends and you know them for a long time. You start to know some of their dreams and desires and things that they're working towards and for. And I know that pond has been on your list for a long time, and that you got big plans for it, for your family and also your business partners in the distant future. So that is fantastic. Congratulations. All right.
Thank you.
So you're very welcome. With that being said, we are in our book, Little Things Matter, 100 Ways to Improve Your Life for your life today. It's the other book I used to read that was Change Your Life Forever. But to change your life today. So today we are on chapter 98. We are almost done with this book, and what I've noticed as we get closer and closer to the end, I've really began to see the book kind of reinforce itself. So it's kind of pulling everything together and talking about how it can actually have an effect on your day-to-day life. And I've seen that a lot as I read through this chapter. So chapter 98 is Become Your Number One Fan. So it goes on to say, our self-image is largely influenced by the conversations we have with ourselves. Positive self-talk translates into positive self-image. Negative self-talk does just the opposite. If we aren't saying positive and encouraging things to ourselves, it'll be hard to have a good self-image, and you are the one in control of this internal dialogue. While we often look to others for compliments and encouragement, it's really up to us to be our own cheerleaders. After all, how can we reasonably expect others to know and recognize all the little things we do to strive for our personal best on a daily basis? So, if we are looking for encouragement, a high five, a slap on the back, be prepared to fill those shoes yourself. We need to become our greatest fans and supporters. So, as I was reading through this, it reminded me of a training that's really changed my life that I was introduced to when we first got started in the entrepreneurship, type of endeavors, and we started, working from home and doing like network marketing businesses. And I was taught a training probably about 18 years ago, and it was called the 4 Beliefs. And it was basically the cornerstone of success. If you didn't have this, you don't succeed. And I teach this because I believe it's the truth and one of the most important factors. But to win, you have to have these 4 solid beliefs. And the first is in our industry, and I believe that's easy. We have this fantastic industry. There's sports arenas named after companies in our industry, and you see pink Cadillacs driving around and all the different things that reinforce that our industry works and that people can make an income from it. The second would be in your company. The third would be in your product, and we have wonderful of those, the people that we work with. But the last is yourself. You have to have belief in yourself. And if you have these 4 beliefs, you can win at whatever you're trying to do in our industry. And, of course, this could translate into other things as well. But out of all those things, the first 3 are ones that you build, you cultivate, and once you get them all to 100%, all the glasses are topped off, if you will, you're there. That doesn't need to change a lot. It doesn't take a lot of work because your belief is built. Now, yourself's a whole different story. I don't believe anybody ever gets full, if you will. It's an ongoing process. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of add that in before I started the next little section of the chapter, because I think this is highly important to our success. So the book goes on to say, if you choose to exercise even though you didn't feel like it, look in the mirror, say to yourself, great job. If you have a propensity to make poor food choices, but today you made a good choice, tell yourself how happy you are about the decision you made. If you have been going the extra mile to really listen to people and have not interrupted them, then congratulate yourself on your progress. If you are proud of the way you handled a difficult situation, spend a few minutes to think about how you are growing as a person. If you have achieved a personal goal, do something you enjoy to celebrate. If you are working on being more likable and you leave a conversation feeling like you really connected with the other person, say to yourself, well done. If you're being friendly, I'm sorry, that sounds funny to me. If being friendly is not natural to you, but today you pushed yourself to smile, make eye contact, and say hi to the store clerk, reflect on the experience, and encourage yourself to keep taking these baby steps each day. And I think that one's kind of funny because I'm like overly friendly to cashiers, and they always look at me weird. I feel like the parents on that insurance commercial, don't end up like your parents. You're always talking to people and acting weird to people or whatever. So I'm that way with cashiers, and I always wonder why they look strangely at me, and this book kind of helped describe that, because not everybody is friendly. It's not natural to everybody, and some people, I guess, give them a hard time. So anyway, I always enjoy those conversations. But anyway, if your coworkers are speaking poorly of someone and you withhold your comment, even if you agree with them, be proud of your restraint. Please understand that this is not about being conceited or egotistical. It's about acknowledging the good things you do and recognizing yourself to build your self-confidence. So anyway, I think it's a fantastic chapter. I think it's very, very important. And, of course, I think, me personally, I've always struggled with this. My mentor, he's a guy named Andy, and all the time he's like, Chris, why do you say that about yourself? Take that back, quit saying that. And I think sometimes it's something that I've done in my nature to even fish for compliments. I'll be like, oh, I'm no good at that, or oh, I messed that up. And I'm also like overly apologetic sometimes, but it is definitely one of those areas that I must work on. And even though we've had success in different parts of our life, and my head lays on the pillow at night, and I feel good about our life and where it's at, and I don't have a lot of regrets in my life at all. Matter of fact, I don't believe in regrets. We can't change anything, and I'm happy who I am today. But at the same hand, I still struggle with this subject. I still struggle that I'm doing my best, and I beat myself up sometimes. So I really needed to hear this chapter today. It's been really, really good for me. And I also believe that what Patty will probably have to share about it as well will probably be just as needed for me as the book has been so far. So I'm excited to hear from her. So with that, Patty, I'm going to flip it over to you.
Well, thank you. Great word. I agree. This is a great chapter. It's like we do a little bit of coaching and talking with people, and I was just thinking about this before I read the chapter, yesterday. I've heard it before, but I think a lot of people struggle with self-confidence. I talk to people, and just like you say, that self-talk, you'll hear people say stuff about themselves, and I used to be that person too. It's been personal development that's got me through it. I would do these things that, like I'm smart, I'm a leader, I attract people to me. I do these self-affirmations very regularly, and it really has helped my attitude about things. But I think a lot, just like you said, Chris, sometimes we say things or do things, just to sometimes get the confidence to help build our, build our confidence back up and get the compliments and what have. But, I was talking to somebody yesterday in a they're in a relationship, and, it's clear that their whole happiness depends on this other person. And I remember just saying, you got to be happy with yourself sometimes before, you can't look at all your happiness from these other people because, what if they're not there? So it's real important that we work on ourselves. And one of the things that, I've done for a long time just to be able to help me at the end of the day to recognize the little things, just like this book said. And I probably learned it from this book several years ago when I read it, to write down at the end of the day, just to write down, what I did for the day. And that's why I make lists, so that when I can check off the list and see what I got done, I feel accomplished. And the more you do this, the more it just starts bringing your confidence that you don't have to shine for other people. You don't have to have those other people. You can be proud of yourself just by looking at what you accomplished. And it takes work and time to work on yourself, but it's something that it rewards you when you can start, looking within and be proud of yourself and what you've done. So, Chris, I will pop it back to you.
Well, absolutely. And I think that's maybe something I didn't hone in as much as we can't depend on others. We can't depend on no one's going to be as big of a cheerleader for us as we can be for ourselves. Just like the book said, how in the world could you reasonably expect everyone else or anyone else to know all the little things that you're doing, to know all the effort that you're putting in? So very, very good word. So the little things matter challenge goes, it says, if you struggle with low self-esteem, write down everything you do in the course of the day that contributes to making you a better person. Carry a small notepad in your pocket, purse, briefcase, and it says if you push yourself outside of your comfort zone to make a call you need to make, write it down. If you took 30 minutes to read a good book rather than watching TV, write it down. If you smiled and answered the phone with a friendly voice, write it down. If you showed up for the meeting on time and well prepared, write it down. Set a goal to make a list of at least 10 things a day that you are proud to have accomplished. If you will do this for 1 week, I guarantee that you will feel differently about yourself. You will have an improved attitude and be more content, confident, and inspired to work towards reaching your long-term goals. Will you take me up on the challenge, the book asks? It says if your self-image is important enough to make the effort is your self-image important enough to make this effort for the next 7 days? And it says if you look to others for words of encouragement and praise, you probably won't find them. Instead, look to yourself. So, guys, just Mr. Youth Pastor hat on here for a second. The Bible tells us that we are wonderfully and fearfully made in Psalms 139. It tells us that, through Christ that we're a new creature. Even in Ephesians it tells us that in 1 John it tells us that we are the children of God. God made us special. We're important. We matter. We just have to believe it. It is that self-talk. It's that old cartoon, there's an angel on one shoulder and a devil on the other shoulder. One's whispering in your ear how wonderful you are, and the other one's whispering in your ear how horrible you are, and it points out all your failures, all your shortcomings, all the things you did wrong, and we just have to choose to listen to and reinforce the right voice. So I encourage all of you to do that. It will help you succeed and help change your life. So y'all have a wonderful and fantastic day. Patty will unmute the lines so that we can say goodbye to ourselves. Don't forget to be here tomorrow. Have a good day, guys.
Good morning. Thank you very much. God bless.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great week.
Great job,
Really
Patty.
good call. Thank you.